Hello, good evening and welcome to Prime Business with me, Pius Kojo Baka. Economist Professor Lord Mensah is warning of low productivity at various government sector workers' institutions for the first quarter of 2025 due to failure of Parliament to approve the over 68 million cedis mini budget. His concerns follow the Finance Minister's absence in Parliament to lay before the House the expenditure in advance of appropriation for the first quarter of 2025. Reacting to the development, Professor Mensah warned of serious consequences on the economy going forward.
Parliament needs to understand that Parliament is just a subset of the country. And trust me, with this delay, there's a serious economic consequence to it, which we may take it for granted, but it's a deep one. Already, we have an economy that is, well dominated by government business. And so if there's a delay in government budget reading, trust me, the economic consequence is a huge one. So we know what is on the budget, salary payment. We know what is on the budget, talking about interest payment, talking about goods, expenditure on goods and services. And even in terms of revenue, mobilization. I mean, any attempt that government will, go about mobilizing revenue would tend to be kind of illegality because, there should be kind of approval of budget in Parliament before government can go ahead to, mobilize revenue to meet up the necessary expenditures that's supposed to be. So people on the street can decide not to pay, their tithes, their taxes and all those, and nothing can happen. So for me, I think what they are doing, they shouldn't think it's just happening in the chamber, but then, or maybe trying to squeeze one way or the other, another government who is coming to power or trying to, arrange some kind of economic bomb that the next administration is likely to come and meet or something. But they should understand that this goes beyond, just, Parliament. It's the Ghanaian economy we are looking at. Delay in payments in salaries, delay in payment for salaries, it can demoralize workforce and production can go down completely.
The International Monetary Fund has assured that it remains committed to helping stabilize Ghana's economy with the required technical and financial support. It followed fresh revelations from the fund, which showed that Ghana's economy is still exposed to serious threats despite the significant progress made under the program. Julie Kozak is Director of Communications at the IMF.
On December 2nd, the IMF's Executive Board completed the third review of the program. This gave Ghana access to $360 million US dollars, bringing total disbursements under the program to $1.9 billion. Performance under the program has been generally satisfactory, and there's been remarkable progress on debt restructuring. Economic growth is recovering rapidly. Inflation has importantly declined, although at a slower pace, and the fiscal position and the external position have continued to improve. With respect to the question about the further questions on the program, of course, the primary focus of the program doesn't change, right? It is to support Ghana in restoring macroeconomic stability, ensuring debt sustainability, fostering long-lasting and inclusive growth. And in terms of the possibility of making adjustments to the program, our programs are developed always in collaboration with the authorities in the country, and they are aimed at achieving the economic objectives that I just discussed. We do have regular reviews under the program to assess progress and ensure that the program is aligned with its intended goals.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, has noted that the banking sector data for 2024 has reflected some improved performance despite declines in some key financial soundness indicators. Speaking at the Bank of Ghana end-of-year Thanksgiving service, Dr. Addison commended the efforts of banks and other financial service institutions for their collaborative efforts in contributing to economic growth.
Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Ernest Addison, speaking at the end-of-year Thanksgiving service, indicated that the domestic gold for reserves program has been key in terms of building reserves this year. He maintained that the initiative was paramount to ensuring a stable exchange rate in the last quarter of 2024.
In years supported by a higher current account surplus, the reduction in net financial outflows, leading to a strong build-up in reserves. From the beginning of the year to the end of September, the reserve build-up of $1.9 billion was accumulated, pushing gross international reserve up to about $8 billion, driven largely by the gold for reserve program of the Bank of Ghana. The strong external sector performance has positively impacted the foreign exchange market, with the Ghana cedi recording appreciable gains in recent months. Since October to end November 2024, the Ghana cedi has recorded respective appreciation of 6% against the US dollar, 7.6% against the pound sterling, and 9.1% against the euro. As a result of the year-to-date depreciation of the cedi against the dollar is estimated at 22.7%.
Dr. Ernest Addison said the banking sector is expected to remain broadly stable, supported by regulatory reliefs and sustained growth in profitability. In attendance were board of directors and management of the central bank, as well as the first and second deputy governors of the Bank of Ghana.
Let's now go to the central bank once more, and the Chamber of BoG Oil Distributors has appealed to the Bank of Ghana to increase the foreign exchange allocations to its members through the special bi-weekly auction for petroleum products importation. Here's a report.
2023 Ghana Petroleum Industry Report, the Chamber said an increase in foreign exchange allocation to bulk oil distributors will not only assure adequate supply of fuel, but will also empower members of the Chamber to have enough stock to avert price increase of petroleum products at the pumps. In addition, the Chamber asked government to implement policies that will help stabilize the cedi to reduce pump prices of petroleum products. It added that government should remove burdensome taxes and levies on LPG to promote affordability and increase LPG consumption. Also, the Chamber asked the National Petroleum Authority to implement policies that will promote the exportation of products by bulk oil distributors to neighboring countries. The Chamber called on stakeholders to construct a pipeline to interconnect the private depots with the Central Oil Refinery.
Accounting firm KPMG Ghana is making a strong case for the central bank to continue efforts in stabilizing the exchange rate system to drive down costs of borrowing for businesses. The local currency has been stable against the dollar, selling around 15 cedis in the last couple of weeks due to some measures introduced by the Bank of Ghana and the just-ended peaceful general elections. Speaking in an exclusive interview with Joy Business, Senior Managing Partner at KPMG Ghana, Anthony Sapon, stressed the need for the stability of the cedi to drive down costs of borrowing and costs of production.
I believe that the government, through working with the central bank, will stabilize the exchange rate as well as stabilize the economy. In that way, it will allow for cost of credit, which currently is high, and we're beginning to see a bit of drop of that, but it's still high for businesses in Ghana. So that cost of credit can also come down, and when it comes down, it allows businesses to be able to attract. In that respect, if you look at the current government, they introduced what we call the Development Bank. That is expected to be providing wholesale financing through the commercial bank to businesses. And the incoming government has also signaled a development bank, a women's development bank, which is also right step to make. And therefore, if that is also created, then of course we have specialized development banks to make sure that they are providing credit either to women-owned businesses or to all other businesses. The key thing is, again, ensuring that these institutions work properly, they work efficiently, and they focus on their core mandate to make sure that they deliver to the intended target. And of course, beneficiaries in turn also show credibility and trustfulness by repaying facilities that they take from these institutions.
Let's do something in the energy sector, shall we? BoG Power Authority has commissioned 40 megawatt power of land-based solar and 5 megawatt power of floating solar at the BoG generation station aimed at expanding sustainable power generation in Ghana. At the commissioning of the projects, which also includes an office complex at BoG, the Chief Executive of BoG, Kofi Jamesi, said the expansion of the solar projects will include floating solar panels on River Pra in the western region and called for increased government support. Precious Emevo has more.
BoG Power Authority has completed another giant solar plant construction in line with Ghana's commitment to increasing renewable energy to 10% of the energy mix by 2030. The authority's newly commissioned 40 megawatt power land-based solar plant and 5 megawatt power floating solar on the Hydro Dam's reservoir complement the 400 megawatt hydropower at the BoG generating station. A current total of 95 megawatt power from solar at BoG is expected to reduce dependency on fossil fuels and, according to the Bono Regional Minister, Justin Owusu Banahini, foster industrial growth.
The commissioning of this project marks a decisive step in our journey towards energy independence and sustainability. They will enhance the reliability of our power supply, stimulate industrial growth, and attract further investment into our region. More importantly, they demonstrate what we can achieve when we combine innovation, commitment, and the shared vision of a better future for all.
Chief Executive Officer of BPA, Kofi Jamesi, said the authority plans to construct floating solar on River Pra and called for deepening government partnership to increase the sustainable energy stock.
Now we have 95 megawatts running. We have 50 megawatts in Yendi, so that gives us 145 megawatts of solar running for BoG Power Authority. And it is a marvelous achievement. In the next 3 months, we're going to have another 10 megawatts added to the 5 megawatt floating solar to make it 50 megawatt floating solar. Already the 5 megawatt solar floating is the largest in Africa. Next year, we are supposed to go onto River Pra to be able to build another 70 megawatts hydro plants, which will also form another base load for the solar plants that we want to do in the western region. With logistics and the funds and all those things, we can do no less than 1,000 megawatts every year. So we have put ourselves in a position that any government that comes and is interested in ensuring that we achieve our renewable energy target, that government must surely work with BoG Power Authority.
He said the office complex, named after the first CEO of BPA, Fred Owari, which provided over 400 jobs during the construction, will partially operate on its car park solar plant.
I can say it's the most modern building today in Ghana. Half of the power that will be used by this building is coming from the solar, from the car park. So we already have a solar plant here. And then also here we have the most modern data center, whereby all data can pass through. As I speak to you, we have deployed Starlink in this area that gives us not less than 250 megabytes per second. So international functions can happen here.
Precious Semevo, Joy News, BoG.
Now, Joy Business, a subsidiary of the Multimedia Group, today brought together employees, partners, and guests for a memorable Christmas carol service. The event was a celebration of the Christmas festive season with the purpose of fostering a sense of unity and joy among attendees. Enjoy this report.
The service featured a selection of Western and Ghanaian Christmas carols from the team. The carol service was a beautiful blend of music, Bible reading, reflection, and togetherness as participants celebrated the season of giving and goodwill. In his opening address, Chief Operating Officer Ken Ansa expressed gratitude for the company's achievement over the past year and encouraged team members towards the coming years.
My little message is that we all know how far we've come. We all know how difficult things have been. It is not one person or a group of people struggling. It is all of us in it together. I can assure you that we feel any pain you feel, much as any happiness you bring. Our hope going forward is that things will become much better than they've been. No matter how difficult they've been, it may still be better than something else. Whatever the situation, you can always think about how worse it could have become. That we are alive, that we have life, that we are healthy, and that we have the opportunity to hope for the future is already a good foundation we can rely on to a better tomorrow. So thank you again. Let's be happy. The last speaker said many of those already. Let's be happy that we are already here, okay, alive and in good health, and that we can start the next year in these good spirits. So let's look forward to a better future. Let's look forward to something that would be more blissful, something that we can all be more happy about. And I'm looking forward to challenging you more next year, okay? And also looking forward to that, building a better Joy Business team, far more impactful and far more engaging.
Chairman, Greater Accra Chapter of the Association of Ghana Industries, Chona Makpelo, shared his Christmas message.
Well, the year 2024 has been an extremely phenomenal year. It was characterized with many events. The interesting thing has been that we've had successful elections politically, and our prayer is that the way the election has been successful, it would translate into a bigger, beautiful year for businesses. Again, a lot more businesses have been holding on to invest and expand because of the elections. They want to see how it goes. Our wish is that the coming year will unleash on the Ghanaian society a bigger and better business opportunities, not only for AGI members, but the business community in general. Our prayer is this Christmas will bring a lot of goodies to all the people, not only in Joy FM, but all the citizens of Ghana. The challenges that many are going through will be reduced, that the birth of Christ will mean so much to all of us, and that it will allow us to flourish and blossom, as corporate people, as staff, and as industrialists. The new year, which is coming, will represent a great beginning for everybody. We would like to see an economy that is expanded, that we are producing, that we are consuming the things we produce, that we are exporting the goods we produce, that will allow many more to get employment, and that will also, those who are already employed, will get them to have better terms of work, more salaries, more monies for everybody, and together we grow as a nation. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to not only members of Joy FM, but every citizen of Ghana.
On the spot, Yao Banafo, host of Masterclass on Joy FM, was grateful for the peace amidst the elections.
I think it's been a great year. Just like the message said during our carol session, that we have a lot to be thankful for as individuals, as a people, as a country. We've just had one of the most peaceful elections within the sub-region. And sometimes when we talk about peaceful election, people think that it has to be 0% rid of some reports of violence and all of that. There were reports of violence, but I think overall, as a country, we have a good story that will be told for time to come within the sub-region. Going forward as a country, let's make it better. As people, as families, as businesses, as individuals. It's time to start over. We're ending the year. Let's end it well. Let's end it properly. And then when the new year starts, let's put our hands to the wheel again, and let's, like somebody say, let's continue to make our homeland great and great and greater. So my message this Christmas is that it's been a great year. Let's thank God for the wins. Let's learn from the things that haven't gone too well, and let's prepare to do it even better in the coming year.
Sharing his excitement after having worked with the group for the past year, Dr. Maxwell Ampong, CEO of Maxwell Investments Group, had this to say.
I'm delighted to be here at Joy Business, where I have felt the Christmas spirit. It's very important where we've reached as a country to be able to come together and sing some carols, have some good food. I just saw Eben lick the kinky off his fingers with a smile. This is what I think patriotism about. The NRI assassinate doesn't need to come back in the grand scale or like over like one period. It needs to come in these small things that we do. And I just saw Ken Ansan here. I just saw the head of Joy Business here. This is how we bring cheer one person at a time, and I am glad that my team and I were able to partake on this. So I feel like for this Christmas, let's try and pay it forward. Let's try and be nice to our neighbors. Let's try to bring a smile into someone's face. And it starts from us, it moves to them, and then it spreads all over the world. So Merry Christmas and have a joyous New Year as we prepare for a new Ghana next year. Thank you.
Joy Business's Christmas Carol service concluded with a collective prayer for peace, prosperity, and success in the coming year.
A Merry Christmas to you and a prosperous New Year. That's it for the bulletin. I am Pius Kojo Baka. Do enjoy the rest of our program.